What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I am back on Motorfest today because there's something I've been wanting to discuss for a minute now. That has to do with basically Motorfest not reusing Crew 2 content in future updates. Now the reason why I did want to talk about this a bit is when I was looking at like the main stage for January, February, I'm like, okay, well they're going to be new things, quote unquote, new things, right? The overall reason though that this does kind of frustrate me is I kind of want to see new content in the game. And I feel like a lot of people are probably going to agree, and I feel like people probably want that stuff. Now, I do understand that making new stuff is probably going to be a lot of work. It's probably expensive to do it and all that. I get it. But here's the thing, though. At the same time of it, I also understand that Motorfest is going to be the new game. I mean, it's been out over a year at this point, and even to this day, they're still going to be using old vehicles from the Crew 2 in the main stages. We all would probably say right now, majority of the player base probably already has them. So if you're looking at something like the main stage, seeing the old vehicles being used, you're like, well, I already have those, so why would I level up the main stage? I don't need the titles and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing though, at the same time of the quote-unquote new stuff probably taking a lot of work and all that to be made and put into the game itself, I also understand to the same point that reusing all the old Crew 2 content is probably not going to be the best way to add stuff into the game, am I right? We all do know right now most of the player base on this game probably played the Crew 2, at least I think they did. The Crew 2's also been on sale. People have been going back to it, you know, playing that, buying the cars on there, because it is going to be way easier to buy the cars in that game and then transfer them over to Motorfest. But if you come over to Motorfest, you got that car in the Crew 2, you're then going to look at Motorfest and go, okay, so this is going to be the main stage vehicle. Why would I even level that up? Because I already have that car. I don't need to level that up. I don't need titles. And I feel like people are looking at that going, okay, well, we probably need new content in the game, guys. Like, the reason why I did want to talk about this is I'm not saying reusing old stuff is going to be a terrible idea because, you know, older summits and stuff could easily work as like a main summit coming out and all that. Like, I get it. Some of the old cars like the Bugatti Devo Emerald Storm or like the old Hummer HX, that could work for old summits. I really think they could return those. But if they're going to be reusing summit vehicles from like 4 or 5 years ago in the Crew 2, and they're going to be in the main stage, they basically show it. Like, here, guys, here is going to be January, February, let's say here's December or whatever. Here's going to be the one that's in March. Like, it doesn't get you all that excited. When I was going on the Ubisoft website, I was like, you know what, let me see if they show this stuff. They were legitimately showing the next main stages on there, showing you exactly what you get or like the vehicles in them. And again, they're going to be reused vehicles. I think one is the lovely Camaro Z01. One of them is going to be the Green Flash Edition as well. Like, that's dope. But I also feel like players might look at those vehicles and go, these are kind of cool, but like, I have them. Can we have new stuff in the main stage that people might want to go after and stuff? And that was the other thing though, like if you're looking at some of these quote-unquote new things coming in the next few months, you probably want to get excited for, right? Wouldn't anybody want to get excited for new content, new vehicles and stuff? But the thing is, if it's showing the next 2 or 3 months of the main stages that you're going to see, and guess what? Those cars are going to be vehicles we've had already. Everybody probably has them, at least a lot of people do. We also do know the entire first year, guys, I'm pretty sure on this. Pretty much every single main stage in the first year of the game was basically vehicles that everybody already had anyway from the Crew 2. Here we are going into the second year of the game, and they're also doing that again. Like, I do understand they're probably trying to show that they are going to be releasing stuff, get people excited for the main stages, or at least some of the upcoming seasons and the upcoming months in that said season where they're going to be having these said rewards that are coming out. The only issue with that, though, is if they're showing the next 3 months in that entire season, and every single main stage is going to be shown also having vehicles everybody's already seen, I feel like a lot of people's excitement isn't going to be there. You all see where I'm coming from, though? Like, don't you want to be excited? I know I do. I feel like in ways maybe they shouldn't show the next 2 or 3 months of things in that season. Like, this might end up sounding a bit insane, but maybe in ways leave everybody in the dark. That way people are going to be surprised when they see the main stages come out. Then again, I would say there's really not going to be a point of hiding a main stage if it's just going to be the same vehicles we've already seen in the other game, which was the Crew 2. And also, again, they've pretty much been reusing those said vehicles since the entire year the game's been out. And what's also kind of insane to me, though, is I've been seeing this on X, I've been seeing this on Instagram. Y'all remember that one summit we had that was going to be the McLaren one? It was like the McLaren Selection Motorfest thing or whatever it was. Everybody was like, this is cool, but can we have like new things added into into it, it is going to be like the same old vehicles we've all seen a few times. They put it into there, making it looking like it's going to be kind of special. But the thing is, people are like, this is cool, but where's the new content? Like, I was seeing a lot of those posts showing up, and it was also making me go, you know what? I would also love to see non-reuse content, or at least newer stuff being added into the game. I feel like everybody would. And I also know this is going to be a new game. They're probably trying to get this thing caught up a bit. We all do know the Crew 2 is going to be massive, being 6 years in development. All kinds of insane updates, which I love the updates in that game. And they also kept you in the dark on some things. The updates would come out. There would be all kinds of new stuff that would surprise you, and it was pretty dang awesome. The only issue with Motorfest is I don't really have that feeling with it. I'm seeing different things coming out with the main stages, the summits. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's going to be the same vanity item from the Crew 2 in both of those summits. We're also then going to see the next 3 months of main stages being the same car we've already seen. Again, most players probably already have it, so I'm not really that excited for it. I feel like they probably should put people in the dark a bit and make it really exciting, but also put new stuff into the said summits and also the main stages, and honestly just everything in general. I really do feel like that. And you know what though, that's the other crazy part. I do understand I was talking about the main stage, they're showing the rewards, they're going to be old vehicles we have and stuff. We all do know they were trying to promote like the summits. We all seen those vehicles, everybody's like, that's cool, but where's the new stuff? Also guys, looking at the menu here, heading over to the Maui Expedition one, we all do know the lovely rewards in this are also once again going to be reused things everybody already probably has. And guess what I'm going to say right now, a majority of the returning or like the main veteran fan base that was from the Crew 2 probably doesn't need most of the stuff in this entire thing. Like for one, guys, we're going to have the Ducati Monster. When I saw this, I was like, why? Like, why is that I would rather get some 3,000 crew credits again instead of getting the same motorcycle. I don't need the money for it. I would say a lot of players don't. Moving over again, like, yeah, the rumble and tumble is cool. I love seeing new rewards, so that's going to be great. Also, seeing something like crew credits is awesome. Then we're going to have, like, the blowfish. So at least it is going to be a new item. I respect that. 10 legend points is obviously not useful, but if we move over to something like the plane, though, again, these are not going to be new vehicles, man. Look at this. We have the Waco here. I would say most people don't even fly the planes in this game because they're kind of terrible. Am I right? I mean, they're not good, but a lot of people are like, okay, so that's a plane. What will you get, like 100 grand from it? That's not going to give a lot of players confidence to do most of these challenges with yes. I have not turned any of these in because I don't need money or XP from them, so I'm like, all right, I'll just hang on to those for now until some new stuff releases. Then we're going to have the final reward in a brand new quote-unquote playlist is going to be the BMW i8, man. Like, I just don't understand the thought process behind some of these things. And this is also why I wanted to talk about this. I do understand they have to fill in content and stuff, guys, but you know what? I feel like in certain ways they are using this as filler content just to put stuff in there. That way they can fill up the entire bar, have stuff in like the main stage, the summits, and that way it does look like they're having new stuff in there, things to go after, even though it's basically all just old filler content from the Crew 2. I do know a lot of this is probably going to sound a bit insane, but the more I've been playing Motorfest recently, the more I really have been seeing this. Like, I do understand they want to fill up the entire challenge thing for something where you get like rewards from it, have like an entire update timeline and stuff to where you get things, but the thing is, if they're just going to keep reusing different items and stuff like that, what is the point of doing them? Because players probably have a majority of that stuff anyway. At least in the newer playlists, they were having like new items, like new tints and stuff, which is dope. They were having some new things in there, like the bobbleheads and all that. I like that stuff. But the thing is, though, if you're going to add a new playlist like the Maui Expedition, having 4 or 5 reused items in that is probably not the greatest look. Again, we're also then going to see something like the main stage always having old items in it, and it kind of makes me wonder in ways if they don't even have new content to add to the game. And so for all I know, they might just be adding that said reuse Crew 2 content to like the main stage, showing that. And I'm going to guess it right now, guys. I am going to be absolutely shocked, calling this right now before Season 6, if they do that again with the main stage, with the summits, reusing old content. It's really going to make me wonder. The reason for that is it's like, okay, so if they're reusing this stuff, maybe they don't really have anything new to add to the game, and that is the only way to really make it look like content is being added, by only using the old Crew 2 stuff. Doesn't that make anybody else wonder, though? Like, this game is only going to be in year 2 of it, and they're only adding old Crew 2 content into it because they might not have new stuff. to really add into it. It honestly does concern me, man. I want Motorfest to do great. We're already in year 2 of this game. We all do know Season 6 is coming up pretty quick. I'm excited to see what they do, but also I'm still going to be on the teeter-totter going, okay, so are they going to fix that? Are they going to add this? Are they going to address this issue? And a lot of things and basically everything is still in the dark. And I really do want to get excited for these updates though, but when I was looking at the website and seeing like the thing showing, okay guys, get ready for January and February with the main stages, I'm like, oh cool, something new. I look at it and I go, that's the Thunder Edition RX-8 and that's the Camaro Z01 thing, which I got a very long time ago. So if I do end up leveling up the main stage, I'll get like 100 grand per vehicle, which if you already have most of the vehicles, what are you gonna do with the 100 grand, brother? How about this? Can I get some XP to level up the main stage instead? Like, can I get 100,000 XP or something? Like, I feel like if most players are maxed out on money, have these vehicles, if you were to get that said reward, wouldn't it be kind of dope if you can click it and go, okay, so you have money, do you want to get, like, XP or something? Would you like to turn this into parts? I don't know, man. Like, make this stuff interesting, you know what I mean? I feel like that could be a pretty dope idea. Like the Maui Expeditions, for example. We have something like the Ducati Monster. We have something like the Waco plane, the BMW i8. If you already own those said vehicles, why can't it give you an option to click on that instead of getting 100 grand? Why can't it give you 100,000 XP or something? Why can't you click on that and get maybe 3 or 4,000 crew credits? I don't know. Make this stuff really interesting. That way, when you get a said reward, players are actually getting something they really do want, or at least they could use it for something else. The biggest thing is I really do think, guys, they have to start adding newer stuff into the game because I gotta admit, constantly seeing the Crew 2 stuff added into like the summits, the main stage, now seeing some of that in playlists is honestly getting pretty dang old. I do know a lot of players want to get excited for the updates and see what they're adding, but when they're going to be showing the next 3 to 4 months of main stage stuff being added, how are you truly going to get excited, especially when it's old stuff from probably 3 to 4 years ago? Do let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. I really do feel like at this point, most people are like, yes, please, let's add some new content into the game. Guys, I really want Motorfest to do great. I know this game has potential, but currently going down this path, it really does make me wonder about the future of this game and also in ways the franchise itself.